The first time I saw him, it wasn't love at first sight. It was curiosity. He moved into the apartment across the hall, number 4B. I watched him through my peephole, a sliver of my world focused on his. He was tall, with a way of moving that was both graceful and deliberate, like a dancer who knew every step before he took it. He never seemed to notice me, or my pathetic attempts at accidental hallway encounters. He'd just nod, a ghost of a smile on his lips, and disappear behind his door. My name is Clara, and for 3 months, my life revolved around the man in 4B. I learned his schedule. He left at 7 a.m. sharp, always in a crisp, dark suit. He returned late, sometimes after midnight. He never had visitors. The only sound from his apartment was the occasional hum of a vacuum cleaner on a Saturday morning. He was a ghost, a mystery I was desperate to solve. The obsession started small. I'd leave my apartment just after him, hoping to catch a glimpse of the car he drove. A black sedan, always parked in the same spot. I'd come home early, just to see him arrive. My friends said I was crazy. Maybe I was, but the pull was undeniable. I started leaving little things for him. A small, potted succulent by his door. A newspaper I accidentally bought 2 of. He never acknowledged them, but they were always gone when I checked later. My heart would pound, a frantic drum against my ribs. Was he playing a game with me? Or did he just think someone was a clumsy, forgetful neighbor? Then came the note. One evening, I found an envelope slipped under my door. No name, no return address. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside, on a single piece of cardstock, was a beautifully drawn feather. Just a single, intricate feather. I didn't understand. But I knew, deep down, it was from him. It had to be. It was the first move in a silent chess game I didn't know we were playing. I taped the drawing to my wall, right above my desk. It was a clue, a promise. The next week, another envelope appeared. This time, it was a drawing of a key, an old, ornate skeleton key, a feather and a key. What was he trying to tell me? That he held the key to my freedom? Or that he was locked away? My imagination ran wild, weaving 1,000 stories around him. Was he a spy? An artist in hiding? A lonely millionaire? Every theory was more romantic, more dangerous than the last. The game escalated. I started leaving my own clues. I drew a small bird next to his door with chalk, hoping he'd see it before the building's cleaner wiped it away. He did. The next day, a drawing of an open birdcage was under my door. My heart soared. He understood. He was communicating with me. This silent, secret language was more intimate than any conversation I'd ever had. I felt seen, understood, by a man whose voice I had never even heard. One night, I couldn't sleep. The silence from his apartment was heavier than usual. I crept to my door, pressing my ear against the cool wood. Nothing. Driven by an impulse I couldn't control, I went to his door. I was about to knock, to break the spell and finally speak to him, when I noticed something. The door was slightly ajar. My blood ran cold. He never left his door unlocked, let alone open. Against every instinct that screamed at me to run, I pushed it open. "Hello?" I whispered into the darkness. The apartment was pristine, impossibly clean, just as I'd imagined. But it was empty. Not just empty of him, but empty of everything. The furniture was gone. The walls were bare. It was a hollow shell. Panicked, I flicked on the light switch. In the middle of the floor was a single small velvet box. With shaking fingers, I knelt and opened it. Inside, nestled on a bed of silk, was a silver locket, shaped like a heart. I opened it. On one side was an engraving of a feather. On the other, an engraving of a key. and tucked behind the key was a tiny folded piece of paper. My breath hitched as I unfolded it. 5 words were written in elegant script. You were the real mystery. My knees gave out, and I sat on the floor, clutching the locket. He was gone. The game was over. Or was it? Was this the end? Or just another clue? I didn't know his name, his job, or where he went. But he knew me. He had been watching me, just as I had been watching him. The thought was both terrifying and thrilling. The apartment was empty, but my world suddenly felt full of possibilities. I spent the next few days in a daze, the locket warm against my skin. I replayed every moment, every drawing, every near encounter. I was looking at it all wrong. He wasn't just a man I was watching. He was a man who was watching me back. He wasn't a mystery for me to solve. We were a mystery together. The realization hit me like a jolt of electricity. He hadn't just disappeared. He had left me a trail, the feather, the key, the open bird cage. He was inviting me to find him. I went online, my fingers flying across the keyboard. I searched for anything related to feathers and keys, artists who used them as a signature, anything. Hours turned into a day, then 2. I was about to give up when I found it. A small, obscure art gallery downtown was having a new exhibit. It was called The Observer. The promotional image was a stark, black and white drawing. It was a peephole, and looking through it was a single, detailed eye that I knew, somehow, was mine. The artist's name was listed simply as K. My heart hammered against my chest. K, the key. It all clicked into place. This was it. This was his next move. The night of the gallery opening, I dressed with more care than I ever had in my life. I wore the locket, of course. Walking into the gallery was like walking into his mind. The walls were covered in drawings, my succulent, the newspaper, the chalk bird, a series of sketches of a woman's back as she walked down a hallway, my back. And in the center of the room, on a large canvas, was the most beautiful portrait I had ever seen. It was me, sitting at my desk, looking at a drawing of a feather, a small, hopeful smile on my face. And then I saw him. He was standing in the corner, watching me, that same ghost of a smile on his lips. He wasn't in a suit. He was wearing a simple black shirt and jeans. He looked real. Our eyes met across the crowded room, and the world fell away. There were no more secrets, no more peepholes, no more silent games. He walked towards me, his eyes never leaving mine. He stopped just in front of me, his gaze dropping to the locket at my neck. "Hello, Clara," he said. His voice was even better than I had imagined, low and warm. "I was hoping you'd solve it." I couldn't speak, so I just smiled, a real smile this time. "My name is Kai," he continued, gently touching the locket. "I believe you have the key." I looked around at the art, at our whole secret story displayed for the world to see, and then back at him. My obsession hadn't been crazy. It was a connection, a silent conversation that had finally found its voice. And I knew, with a certainty that filled every part of me, that this wasn't the end of the mystery. It was just the beginning. Thank you so much for watching our story unfold. If you love a good romantic mystery, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next video.